Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. In this week's vlog, I am heading back to the gym for the first time in 17 weeks. I think it's been just over a week at the time of filming since I ran Paris Marathon. Literally as soon as I found out that I was running the marathon, I stopped going to the gym because I literally could not cope with all that extra running and also still going to the gym, partly because of my fatigue, but also partly because marathon training is really hard and I was building up from a base of pretty much nothing, and I'd kind of gently been going to the gym through EBV and through my recovery, but I really hadn't been doing very much at all, so hitting the gym hard and hitting my training hard was definitely going to be a no-go, so I just stopped going. So today I'm going to be heading back. I did actually do a session 2 days ago and it was a light full body session and I just hurt everywhere. So it's going to be interesting, but I'm going to do another full body session because I'm going to be away for about a week now and not going to be able to do a session in that time, so I figured I'd just hit the whole body, ease myself back into it and hopefully not injure anything. But I really enjoy going to the gym. I know this is more of a running channel, but I actually think that, especially for runners, more than anyone else, going to the gym is so important because it reduces injury risk, it makes you a stronger runner. It means that you can have a stronger sprint finish at the end of a race, but also means you can hit the hills hard and various other things. It kind of improves your form, improves your efficiency. So there are so many benefits to going to the gym, not least also just to kind of split up your training. No matter how much you like running, sometimes it is nice to mix it up a little bit. And also, if you get injured and you can't run, if you're anything like me, you go completely insane, and having something else that you can do when you're injured is really valuable. Even if you broke your legs, you'd still be able to go to the gym and do your upper body if you wanted. So having some cross training I think is invaluable, and I pride myself on being a strong runner. Not a good runner, but I'm literally a strong runner, and that is because I've been going to the gym for a very long time now and I really enjoy it. Not always, not every single session, but in general I really enjoy going to the gym. But I haven't been in so long and I figured since finishing Paris Marathon it is time to get back there and give it a shot at getting strong again. But first I just want to chat about how I've recovered since Paris. Basically, Paris was incredible. Thank you all so much for your support on that vlog and on the race itself. I thoroughly enjoyed myself and it was so emotional, but those were pure happy tears at the end of that race. Watching it back to edit also made me quite emotional, so yeah, it meant a lot to me to be there. I just kind of had to keep pinching myself that it was real, and I'm just so happy with how the whole thing went. Towards the end, as I mentioned in the vlog, I did start getting IT band syndrome, or my IT band was sort of flaring up, which is an old injury that I haven't had in years, and the last time it was really bad was during Tokyo Marathon in 2019. There is a common theme there, marathons, but specifically road marathons, because I've done a lot of trail races that are significantly longer and never had a problem with it, except for, you know, feeling a little bit tight, but nothing as bad as it was in Paris, which wasn't even that bad, to be honest. It was just something that I kind of noticed and was just praying to God wasn't actually going to get worse through the race. And one of the things that I do think might have contributed to that is my lack of strength training. I think that if I can get back to the gym and improve my posterior chain, which is one of the contributing factors to IT band syndrome is weak posterior chain, hopefully when I get back to doing other races and more running, whatever that may be next, then I won't get that issue again, even if it's road running. So that's the goal. And your posterior chain, for those you don't know, is basically all the muscles that go down the back of your body, especially your glutes and your hamstrings, which those of us who sit at a desk all day, basically we tend to have really weak posterior chain. And even if it's strong, it's not necessarily activated when you run. And that can be one of the causes of being quad dominant and feeling that pressure on your IT band. So that's something that I worked on really, really hard, because I had IT band syndrome for about 5 years on and off, 6 years on and off, up until Tokyo Marathon pretty much. And that was a real nightmare for me because it is, as anyone who has had it before, excruciatingly painful. For an injury that doesn't cause permanent damage. It really is horrible. And I don't fancy that again. I certainly don't want that to be a recurring theme of my running moving forward. So back to the gym it is, and I'm really excited about it. I'm gonna bring you along to the gym with me. I'm gonna share some of the sessions that I do. So the way that I do gymming when I'm running is I tend to incorporate compound lifts, so things like squats, deadlifts, bench press, you know, all the big movements, and also then specific physio movements, prehab, rehab type stuff for the specific injuries and niggles that I get. So those work on my weaknesses so that when I am running a lot, which obviously I'm not going to be for a while, those parts of my bodies are are prepped and ready for that extra load, and they're less likely to break down when I do a lot of mileage. And I think starting that now is a really sensible plan, not least because I'm not going to be doing a lot of running for a while, so it's quite nice to be kind of moving my body and getting back to exercise in a way that is low impact and, you know, not going to be using my heart quite as much, because I was slightly worried about my heart in the marathon and certainly in the training, but the week before the marathon I was having all sorts of weird heart symptoms, and the morning of I got super dizzy. I didn't say this because I didn't want anyone to tell me not to run the marathon, but I got pretty dizzy, had I guess kind of like anxiety, but I've had anxiety and it didn't feel quite the same. So basically just like my heart feeling like it was beating out of my chest when I was literally just standing there, and it was making me super dizzy. I kind of want to take some time out of running long distances. I will still be running, jogging here and there, but I do not want to be overloading my body. I really want to allow myself to rest and recover properly after that marathon, because a marathon is a big stress on the body and we all need time to recover afterwards, whether you're ill or not. So yeah, back to the gym. I am pretty nervous to go back to the gym. Even in my session the other day, which was like a very minor non-session session, I felt quite a lot of anxiety going back. I think because I feel so confident when I turn up to a running event or run club or race, even if I'm not confident about the race itself, I feel like I know what I'm doing. You know, that's very much, it feels like that's where I belong. And yet when I go to the gym after an extended period of time out, I get what we call gymtimidation, intimidated by going to the gym. Not helped, of course, by the fact that there's a lot of scary looking men there, but I don't think gymtimidation is reserved solely for women. But, you know, taking time out from anything for an extended period of time can be difficult and can mean that you feel a little bit nervous going back. So I'm going to share it with you guys because I think anyone who's taken out some time for injury or illness or simply because life has got too busy could be feeling the same way. So I'm excited to go back, but equally a little bit nervous, but I'm going to share it all with you. I'm going to share which session I do, everything that I train. Basically, I'm going to do all the parts of my body that I didn't do last time. Anything basically that doesn't hurt, I'm gonna hit in the gym today. And my plan is to start really light and to not go full on into it, because one of the things that I tend to do is if I can do it, I will do it. So I will literally lift as heavy as I can simply because I can. But actually that's not really the best way of easing back into something. In fact, it's not easing back into it at all. So my plan is to take it easy in the first few sessions back, remind my body what it's supposed to be doing, how I'm supposed to be lifting, and which muscles are supposed to be working, remind myself what the whole thing is about, get over that gymtimidation and enjoy myself. That's the goal, at least. So I'm gonna bring you along to the gym, and I tend to run down there. That's kind of my warm up for the session. So I'll be bringing you along with me.
For the last year, I've been avoiding this hill and heading around the side of it. I haven't done any hill running really since training for OCC last year, and it just makes my heart go crazy, but I've decided I'm going back to it. It's not that long a hill, but it definitely hurts. But you know, it's good for warming up for the gym, so kind of necessary. And I don't know, I do actually quite like hill running when they're short. session. As fast as I've run in a while. Really love that downhill section though, it's so much fun. And I've been so cautious with my marathon training that I haven't really had the chance to push it at all. Like I haven't done really any fast interval sessions. So yeah, but Rhian's been practicing while I've been out of action, and he's been running down here at 4:45 a kilometre, which including that giant hill is no mean feat. So I got some catching up to do. But anyway, I'm definitely warmed up now and gonna head in for my session.
I don't always do an extra warm-up or stretch before a session, but having not been to the gym in a while, I decided it would be a little bit awkward if I injured myself on my first session back, so I should probably warm up. This is just whatever felt good at the time, basically. Okay, so a lot of people ask why I gym in my socks, and the reason is that running shoes aren't great for lifting because they're too soft and they create an unstable surface, which means you're not targeting the right muscles, and it also makes the rest of your muscles, ligaments, etc. have to work overtime to keep you stable. You can get specific lifting shoes, but since I run down to the gym, I really can't be bothered to take extra shoes, so socks it is. I start each of my lifts with an empty bar before adding any weight and work my way up to my maximum of the day, which on this day was 60 kilos, and that definitely felt like more than enough. So I've got some work to do.
Can we please just take a second? 50 kilos. What the hell is going on here?
Sorry?
How heavy are you lifting?
170.
170? Oh, Christ.
That's barely more than I weigh.
That's mad. Mad. That's what we're doing today.
Now this is an exercise that I think has helped my running loads. It actually got prescribed to me to help a little ankle injury a year ago by physio, and even though the injury has long gone, last year I really felt like this gave me a lot of extra power for hill running and also hiking in my calves, and it also increases ankle stability, which is super useful if you do trail running. So this is an example of a unilateral exercise, i.e. it uses one side of your body at a time, one leg at a time. Running is effectively hopping from one leg to another, and you get a lot of force put in each of those legs, so it's really helpful to know that both of your legs are as strong as each other. Most people have a dominant leg, and this kind of corrects for that a little bit. Okay, hip thrusts are a new one for me, so I asked one of the PTs for a little bit of help on form, and if you're new to the gym, you should never be afraid to ask for help. I think that is one of the reasons that PTs are there. They want you to be safe, they want you to have good form, and I think a big part of gymtimidation is feeling like you don't necessarily know how to do the exercises properly, or feeling like you look stupid while you do it, especially hip thrusts. Like, this is a strange exercise, and I felt weird trying to get in there. I definitely thought I was doing it wrong. I once tried it without bumper plates on the bar, and I literally couldn't fit underneath it, and I was like, this cannot be how you're supposed to do this. So yeah, always ask for help if you're not sure about something. It makes it so much easier. But let me tell you, this one hurts so bad. I can't believe I've never done it before, but I'm really happy to be including it back into my exercise routine because I need to work on my posterior chain, and this is a way to do that. After those 3 lower body exercises, I was pretty done, but I decided to fit in some core work, which is always useful, but especially if you run on uneven terrain and want to stay upright. I just like having a strong core as well. I think it's useful just for life, for living. I tend to do 2 or 3 rounds of like 3 minutes of various different exercises. Each week I do different ones, and it targets slightly different muscles, and that's that.
Alright, session done. Well and truly finished me off. I said I didn't want to exhaust myself, but since like before marathon training, running would exhaust me and gymming would be fine. But now I feel like I'm fit for running-ish, and as soon as I got back to the gym, I'm just completely knackered. But felt really good to do this session, and despite my DOMs from the last session, I managed, how long? Give me a second. 50 minutes.
including warm up and cool down, but not including my run there. So I'm gonna go downstairs and get a shake because I feel like I deserve it. I get a shake every time I don't want to run back home because it gives me an excuse not to run back. But oh my God, walking down these stairs is an ordeal.
All right, gym session done and we're just heading back home. Went to Asda and Rhian's carrying all the heavy shopping up this horrible hill that was very fun to run down and is no fun to go up. If you guys haven't watched Physical 100, we've just watched the second season, which is so good. And every time we do something like this, well, not that I'm carrying a bag of apples and that's it. Every time we do something like this, I think of, it seems like the sort of thing that they would do in there. It's like, how many bags of shopping can you carry up this steep hill? Anyway, rather Rhian than me because my legs are completely destroyed. Yeah, I mean, my session 2 days ago also used them, so from no sessions in 17 weeks to 2 sessions in 3 days, it's not that surprising that I'm feeling it, but it feels good to be back. Makes me very happy.
So, gym session done. What was that I said about not hitting it too hard in the first session back? I can barely walk. My ability to do stairs is heavily compromised, and I imagine it will be for the next few days as well. But it was really good to get back. I was smiling throughout because I haven't been in so long, and as someone who kind of prides himself on being quite strong, it has been quite depressing to be feeling quite so weak over the last few months. Part of that was due to EBV, but a lot of that was just due to not going to the gym, and I lost a lot of muscle, especially in my glutes. Like, they've got a bit flabby. Flabby glutes is fine, but when they don't allow you to walk up the stairs or lift things and whatever, it's just kind of annoying. Like, it's not very functional to be weak. So it was really good to get back to the gym and I really enjoyed it. And the personal trainers there are so friendly. You know, when I was struggling with the hip thrust, he came over and helped, which was lovely because I really needed help and I just don't do that exercise at all. And that's definitely one to add to my routine from now on because I really struggled with what is essentially a very lightweight. So yeah, we're adding that one on. It's quite a humbling experience going back to the gym after 4.5 months off or whatever. I'm excited to get the newbie gains, which is basically the gains that you get when you first start doing a sport, especially going to the gym. It's so easy to see progress just from turning up regularly. I'm hoping that I get those again because it's really hard to get them after like several years of going to the gym 3 times a week. That is it for this week's vlog. Over the next few weeks, certainly maybe months, I will be trying to up my running and also incorporating a couple of sessions of gym training per week. I will be listening to my body because I don't know how it's going to respond to that different stimulus. Like, my body is taking me on some sort of roller coaster and I have no idea what's coming up next. I feel tired but fine. Right now I had a nap, so that always helps. But who knows how I'm gonna feel tomorrow and who knows how I'm gonna feel if I try and do a run now. So I just basically have to listen to my body. I am gonna be creating a very loose plan about what I wanna be doing over the next few weeks. And I think I'm gonna do that with the Runner app. They have this post-race recovery plan that you can incorporate strength training into. So I think I'm gonna do that and try and fit in 2 to 3 runs and 2 to 3 gym sessions a week, not training more than 5 days a week, basically. So that's the goal. We will see how it goes. I will, of course, be updating you with all of it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did enjoy it, please do give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. I have quite a lot of you watching my videos without subscribing, and that means that you won't get updated when I put out a new vlog, but it also means that I don't get those subscribers, and it would be really lovely if you just hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon as well if you would like to get notified when I release new videos. I have some really cool interviews coming up which I'm super excited to share with you guys, and of course they'll be coming out on this channel in my Trailblazers Talk playlist. So hit the subscribe button and then you will know when that's gonna come out. Thanks again for watching and I will see you next time. Bye!